got into it initially from always having an interest in cultures and different people, and realizing that it was important that we learned about different cultures and engaged with them. And then through that, the realization that not everyone is nearly as lucky as we are in Canada, and that there's a lot of need out there, and that we're as Canadians, we're well positioned to be able to support and improve the lives of people that don't have the same opportunities that we do.
Years ago, I was planning on backpacking through Central America, and I had been working with a group of nuns, and they told me they had a project in El Salvador. So during my travels, I stopped there to volunteer for a couple weeks, and I ended up staying 9 months. And 12 years later, I'm still doing this.
Doing a lot of traveling, and I kind of fell into a few organizations abroad, did a bit of volunteer here and there. And every time I did a project or got involved with something or traveled more, I was more exposed to poverty and needs, and it just built this thirst in me.
I was approached by someone that was working with MSF, and they were starting a brand new project in children's psychosocial, children that were affected by war. So he thought I had all of these other generalist qualities, and that's why he really encouraged me to apply.
Was in Haiti after the earthquake. I had just arrived. I didn't really know what I was doing. I was fairly new. And one of the first things that they made me do was sort out all these medications that had been donated, all these medical supplies. So we're trying to sort that out, and the next day somebody came to me, and one of the doctors came to me and thanked me because there was a sick child, and they needed a very specific needle to be able to inject the medication. And it was because we had spent hours and hours sorting through all these supplies that we were able to find. I think there was only like 5 of those, and we were able to find them, and we were able to give them to the medical team so that they could treat the child, and that's why I survived. And I guess that's one of the ones that stuck with me for the longest.
I was working in remote Pakistan. I've just returned, and I was installing an X-ray unit and training staff. And there's a huge gender divide where I was, and I was working with three male X-ray techs, and we had nothing in common but our jobs. And they embraced me and kind of challenged traditional roles for them, negotiating my presence. But they had a thirst for knowledge and learning, and we kind of used our collective X-ray background as a way to kind of bond and implement services, and it turned into much more. We'd have chai every day, and over chai we'd kind of sit there, and at first it was a little awkward, like what do we say, what do we talk about, and it became kind of, let's teach Lauren a new word, which then became, let's teach Lauren a new word, which led to a story about Pakistan, which led to a story of themselves, or it was a very interesting way of facilitating a relationship and learning about what I'm doing, what my purpose is there, and kind of what this service actually means beyond you're getting an X-ray here.
We're seeing, some of the worst humanitarian crises of our time. Currently, there's more people displaced in the world than there has been since World War II. So there's an ever-increasing need, a lot of that coming from longer-term protracted situations.
Conflict areas tend to exacerbate other issues. It could be access to food or water. It could be other protection issues, and again, those are life-threatening. So and with populations moving, we have to be able to access those areas, which is very difficult. It takes time. It takes negotiating humanitarian access.
It's not just coming in as an outsider and giving people services. It's building relationships. It's sustainability. It's getting people, to me, it's breaking down barriers to access for healthcare.
I keep the hope up by seeing the children in the field, right? Going to those places and seeing that, a child who's displaced from their home and has known nothing but violence still has hope.
But also seeing that some people, despite all the adversities they've faced, that they still have compassion for others.
Especially us that have had some more privileges. I think it is somewhat of our responsibility to try to support those who can't, and by supporting, it might not necessarily be going to those countries to help like I do, or even donating large amounts of money, but even just raising awareness and spreading the word that's needed. I think it's something that we all need to do.